I think we're on. Morning everyone, Hugh here. Sunday the 17th of May and this is my Glasshouse update. So on that, good news, like I said last week, the potager will be open tomorrow. So delighted to hear that after what's been probably a 6, 7, maybe 8 week wait away. So I'm going to be busy, as you can imagine, with any spare or free time I have getting stuck in down there. I have been growing plants here in the glasshouse, some in the courtyard and some stored across the way there as well, waiting for this moment. So I'm very excited by it, and no doubt you'll hear an update or two from me on that and what we're going to do. But that is really good news. So you can see there's the larger tomato plants. They're growing in their tubs in the glasshouse. They're coming to a nice size. So the space that you see here to the top of the pot has been deliberately left so I can actually put in a nice mulch of good compost as the plant is actually grown, which it has. It's come up very nicely, so it's going to get a stake on it and a nice mulch of compost, and we're going to start liquid feeding them as well. So you can see that's the tomatoes in the bigger pots, and I have a nice collection of them there ready to come on. These ones, which were the spare plants, I'm going to actually just allow 1 or 2 trusses of tomatoes set. So they're going to be smaller, and the idea being that the plant will put all its energy into producing just that 1 big or 2 big bunches of tomatoes, which typically are bigger and typically are more flavoursome. Interestingly, that cold air, the ones closer to the window, you can see where they got a little bit of a shock. The leaves close to the window just got a little bit of a shock. Even though they've been under cover and even though they've been fleeced inside, the temperatures were that cold. Overall, I got away very, very lightly here compared to some of my friends on YouTube and some of my friends on Twitter and what I've seen. So that's the tomatoes coming along very nicely. Some mulching around the tops of the pots with some really good rich compost. Some liquid feeding going to start. Still pinching out those side shoots. I'm sure you've seen other people do it. But if you're not sure, it's where these side shoots here, you don't want them to grow. So you simply just remove them. Just keep removing those side shoots. And that puts all the energy of the plant, directing it where you want. So that's a little bit about what I'm doing with tomatoes. The tomato bottles, which of course is a little bit of a fun piece, are actually going in the right direction now. So that's looking very well. That's ready for hanging. Sweet pea is in flower. This is the one that I've been bringing on indoors. It was autumn sown and it smells fantastic. You can see the sunflowers for the sunflower challenge. After getting a bit of something affecting it, I suspect it's the cold, and I see some green fly now. I expect it's the cold. They really dislike cold, and sure, we'll see how they do. I don't have a lot of sunflowers coming along compared to some people that are actually growing them, so if we get a couple of flowers, that's grand, and if we don't, well, we don't. The petunias are looking great. These are some early ones that I got in the shops when I couldn't get the garden centres to get my plant hit. I went along and I bought this piece for a £5 or something. It was something ridiculous. And they had 5 of these plants in it. So that's unbelievable. So this is one now. I separated them out. This is one of those plants. And there's 3 more in the bowl there behind. And there's another one growing along in the porch inside just to bring a bit of colour while we're waiting for the summer bedding to come along. More tomatoes up along the back there. Again, they're going to be 1 truss tomatoes. And the pumpkin plants that I have, they just need to be hardened off a little and brought outside now. When they get planted out, because they are very tender again, when they get planted out, they'll be fleeced even outdoors, even after some hardening off, because they really dislike that sort of cold that we're having at the moment and those sort of cold winds. There's my peppers, which were sown on the 6th of March, always slow to develop. I do hope to buy a couple of nicely established plants, but I wanted to bring on a couple of my own as well. And they've basically been in the propagator the heated propagator for 2 months. And you can see that's as far as they've gotten. Once they're transplanted now, they should actually, with a bit of heat, they should actually grow quite strongly. Some cosmos, some bedding dahlias, begonias have come up very nicely. They need to be given individual pots now. Dill, basil, fabulous scent. One of the very early potatoes that I was bringing along, and I actually put it outside on one of the days as I was cleaning and clearing, and the leaves got a shock with the wind. It was just too cold for it. So it was just too cold for it, so it's actually died back since. I will do a potato reveal, but I'll wait until these guys die back a little bit before we do that. So that was it was a January sown potato, and it was just interesting to see as it came up, but it was interesting to watch as it came up. Came to a quicker end than expected due to the that chilled wind. So a lesson learned. And of course, it's worth saying, any plants that you're bringing on indoors that you're going to put outside, the likes of this hosta here, make sure that they're hardened off first. So that is to say, you're putting them out during the day and taking them in at night, and you do that for the period of about a week. So it gives the leaves and plant a chance to toughen up, to become tougher, ready for its final planting out or potting up outdoors. So that's called hardening off. So make sure you're hardening off your plants. And strawberries are in flower indoors as well. These are runners I took off some other plants that I came across last year. And with these, although the plants are very small, I'm going to let them produce some strawberries. Ideally, you wouldn't let the plants produce strawberries in the first year because it takes so much energy from them, but I can't resist a bit of novelty of growing the strawberries under cover. They'll be delicious. As always, good to see you. Keep well. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you're subscribed, and of course leave some comments below. I know various people have been trying the tomato bottle, so it's a bit of fun to see what you can get out of your tomato bottle. So thank you everyone for the various shout outs as you've been doing them. And of course Jules gave me a lovely shout out from his channel last week. That was very nice. He showed up the wrought iron gates, a great bit of video editing. I don't know how he did it. So look after yourselves, take care, and hopefully the next update that you're getting from me will be on the will be from the potager in the allotment. Fingers crossed. Take care, keep safe. Bye for now.